Welcome back to the Canadian Ruck, everyone. This week we welcome Canadian rugby player Keyara Wardley as she's gearing up for the Tokyo Olympics. Keyara, if you don't know, she's the youngest member on Team Canada. She's clocking in at the tender age of 21. She played in the Youth Olympic Games 2018, was a bronze medalist. Youth Commonwealth Games back in 2017, also played for Canada U20. Currently, she has over 20 matches on the World 7 Series. But before we get to Keyara, just a little bit of stuff. We got our contact. We got a little plug that we always do. We're on the Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Canadian Ruck. Just find us. You'll see us. We're all over social media with our posts and our pods. And then remember, too, when you're watching and listening, make sure you're following, subscribing, and sharing. We're on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, CastBox. Make sure that you share these messages so more people hear these great Canadian rugby stories. Lastly, if you're not sure where to turn, go to our website, thecanadianruck.weebly.com. You'll find all past content there. Everything's linked to either Spotify or YouTube or links to my favorite pods, etc., etc., etc. What's going on in the rugby world now? Well, we're going to look at some international stuff to start. Canada and England played today. Spoiler alert, if you haven't watched the match yet, skip ahead a few minutes. I'm giving you the fair warning now. Well, game's over. Not quite the outcome Kingsley Jones and Rob Howley had in mind for the men in red this weekend. That final score coming out 70-14 for England, who led 42-14 at the half. On Thursday, Eddie Jones, the head coach of England, stated that it was often more difficult for newcomers on their second appearance as they have to quickly build themselves up to go again after experiencing the enormous high of test level debut. So he was talking about Canada. We had so many young guys facing off against Wales last weekend, and he was concerned, I think, for their well-being. And England took it to them early, and the second half was better for sure, much like last weekend. England has played a bunch of tests this year, while this has been Canada's second. And even though most of the boys are playing in the MLR, they are still lacking a little in test fitness. And by that, I mean the speed of the international game, how quick decisions are made by the top players in the world, and how penalties can easily be turned into points against you. And that happened frequently today. England had two lads with hat tricks, winger Adam Rodwan and hooker Jamie Blamire. The first time I think England's had two players with hat tricks since 2016 or 2017, I think is what I read. And England's young number 10, Marcus Smith, he had a stellar game. He actually got subbed off 10 or 12 minutes left in the match as he got called up by the Lions, and he's setting off to South Africa to join that tour. So that's exciting for that young kid. The score is, though, somewhat deceiving. England scored 25 points, if not 30, off their line-out mauls. Canada didn't contest often enough in the line-out, and England was able to take advantage of some scrambling defense on those 5-meter line-outs. However, to me, this showed, and I've stated this before with England, shows their lack of creativity and ingenuity. That's what England is known for, in my opinion. It seemed a little greedy at times, but I mean, yeah, it is international rugby. It's not rookie rugby. Yet, why couldn't Eddie's squad try different set piece options? Why couldn't they go for a scrum and set up a player? Why couldn't they do a line out and have a back play? Or even, why didn't Canada contest or tighten up their maul defense? In all fairness, they did. They did make some alterations, and the maul defense did improve in the second half. They even gained a penalty off of England there at one point. However, Canada's lineouts, they were actually on point today. Andrew Quattron was throwing the ball marvelously. Lots of great set pieces off those lineouts. Canada did a pretty good job of controlling the ball when they had it, but England's D was tough, not giving up much space and definitely taking away all kinds of time. Canada did score two nice tries. Kanoa Lloyd scored his second of this series with a beauty in the corner from a great pass by Ben Lesage. And scrum half Ross Brody used a clever quick tap to run one in, and both tries were converted by Peter Nelson. Again, as like last weekend with Wales, there were simple mistakes by Canada that will be solved with more experience. Many drop balls, many missed tackles, and definitely some misassignments. But Canada continued to play hard for the full 80 and worked hard in the breakdowns. They didn't give up. Captain Rumble stated afterwards that there were lots of positives, particularly experience gained by the young players that will help with the Rugby World Cup qualifiers versus USA in the fall. Speaking of USA, they also played today. So in other international matches, USA played Ireland. The match is over now. Ireland won 71-10. I watched about the first 50, I think. It was a pretty good match by Ireland. They put up a good showing. Red card to US on a high tackle at the 53rd minute didn't help either. Sharks played the British and Irish Lions. Lions won 71-31. Lions pulled away in the second 40 after a red card was handed out to the Sharks scrum half, Hendricks, just over 5 minutes into the second half. As the halftime score is 26 apiece at Loftus Field, so the Lions really put a show on in that second half. Sunday, there's going to be a few tier 2/tier 3 matches happening. And on Tuesday, Australia and France are squaring off again. This was a close match last weekend with the Aussies pulling out a 2-point victory. The Olympics, well, the schedule's out. Mark your calendars and set your PVRs. I'm just going to walk through the dates. Women's side, Thursday, July 29th, and that 9 to noon bracket, Canada's playing Brazil. And the 4:30 to 7:30 bracket, Canada's playing Fiji. Friday, July 30th at 9 to noon bracket is Canada and France is in that mix. 4:30 to 7:30, placing matches in quarterfinals. Saturday, July 31st, 9 to noon, placing matches in semifinals. And then finally, Saturday, July 31st, whoa, way off. 4:30 to 7 are the medal matches and the victory ceremony. And on the men's side, Monday, July 26th, the 9 to noon time slot, Canada and Great Britain. 4:30 to 7:30, Canada, Fiji. Tuesday, July 27th, 9 to noon, Canada and Japan's in that slot. 4:30 to 7:30, the placing matches and quarterfinals. Wednesday, July 28th, 9 to noon, placing matches and semifinals. And then finally, 4:30 to 7 are the medal matches and the victory ceremony. So mark those dates in your calendars. If I went too fast, you can scroll back or you can look it up on World Rugby or on the Olympics website because they are all posted now. What else is going on? Well, Major League Rugby. Saturday's matches, Houston hosted Rugby United New York. Match is now finished. Rugby New York ran away with this one 54-19. 6 o'clock Eastern, San Diego Legion are hosting Old Glory. Austin Gilgronis are hosting the LA Guiltinis at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And last match of Saturday sees the Utah Warriors on the road to face Rugby ATL at 10 p.m. Eastern. Sunday, the New England Free Jacks are home to the Toronto Arrows at 12 noon Eastern. And the last match of the weekend sees the NOLA Gold hosting the Seattle Seawolves at 9 p.m. Eastern. Coming up now, Keyara Wardley. East Coast Roast Coffee is an independent micro roaster coffee in St. John, New Brunswick. What microbreweries are to beer, East Coast Roast is to coffee. They source from independent farmers and co-ops all over the world and roast in small batches to bring something interesting to the local coffee scene. If you're into really fresh coffee, head on over to their website at eastcoastroast.ca or pick up beans from Jeremiah's, Paris Crew, the Art Warehouse, or Woodchucks in St. John, New Brunswick. So welcome back to the Canadian Ruck. We're fortunate today. We have Keyara Wardley on. She's gearing up for the Tokyo Olympics and she's made time to chat with us. So we're pretty excited about this. So Keyara was a member of the Youth Olympics 2018 bronze medalist. She was on the Youth Commonwealth Games in 2017, played for Canada U18, over 20 matches in the World Sevens Series, a member of Canada's Sevens team heading to Tokyo, which is amazing. And I think the big thing that stands out for me when I watch you play, Keyara, is how you're such a powerful runner. Break tackles, create space with your speed and your strength. It's really amazing. We're very fortunate to have you here. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, so Keyara, let's jump right in here. Born and raised in the small town of Vulcan, Alberta, and I had to Google this because I'm a history teacher. I know geography of Canada, but I had never heard of Vulcan. And for those that don't know, it's between Calgary and Lethbridge, I believe, right?
Yeah, almost right in the middle.
In a really small town.
Very small town. Very small town.
Under 2,000 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, everybody knows everybody.
So how did you get involved in rugby there? Was it Country Central High School? Is that right?
Yeah. County Central High School. I was a dancer for all my life. And as soon as I hit grade 7, my brother actually wanted me to get into sport. And I loved volleyball, fell in love with volleyball. I honestly thought I was wanting to take that as far as I could. And my brother told me I needed an off-season sport. So rugby at the time was the off-season sport to volleyball. So I joined in grade 7 with the 15s program. At that time, I had never heard of 7. Not gonna lie, I wasn't a fan of it, but I had to stick it out because I needed that off-season sport. And then grade 12 came around, I found Rugby 7, and I honestly fell in love.
I think 7s is one of those games of rugby, like Rugby 15s, where you have to play it to truly appreciate it and fall in love with it. And it sounds like it happened, but it's led you to the Youth Olympics, to the Commonwealth Games, to Canada U18. Can you talk to us about your time in those different areas? Because those are some pretty impressive That's a pretty impressive CV there.
When I was introduced to sevens, that was pretty much being selected for the U18 team, and also the Maple Leaf development squad that we have. And that took me to, yeah, like you said, the Youth Olympics, the Youth Commonwealth Games, and leading up to coming out here and being centralized was like amazing. The experiences that I faced in those situations kind of helped me, kind of guided how I would be training out here in Victoria and being as like a centralized player. So I think having those experiences before joining the centralized team has really helped me as a player.
So leading from all of that, though, it's led to something bigger. You're now, I think, I could be wrong, the youngest member on the roster going to Tokyo.
I am, yes.
So how, you're 21, 22?
21.
21.
Yeah, 21.
I remember 21. That was it was in the mid 90s, I think, for me. So, but that's really cool though. You're on the sevens roster, 21 years old. What does it mean to you to be out there with like Charity Williams and Karen Paquin and all those great, Ghislaine and Olivia Apps? Like, you just name that roster. It's amazing. How does that feel for somebody who's only 21 sharing the pitch with those ladies?
Yeah, I'm so honored to be part of this talented team and to be on the same pitch as all the athletes that you just named is so surreal. I remember watching the 2016 Olympics and watching them playing rugby, and I was like, oh my gosh, like so starstruck about even having them on the TV screen, and then coming out here to Victoria and being centralized with them is such a huge honor, and I'm so privileged to be a part of the team with them and on their journey as well. And just to see how much work we've put in as a team is such an amazing experience, and I really honestly wouldn't want to experience this with anybody else. So I'm very, very honored to be a part of this team and the whole squad of 21, not even just those going to the Olympics. Is such an amazing group to be a part of, and I'm honestly still lost for words to be selected for this Olympic team, and I'm just so honored, and I cannot wait to hit the pitch with them.
Sounds like a very humble small town girl attitude right there. That's pretty nice.
Thank you.
But speaking of the Olympics, you just really started playing rugby a few years ago, sevens rugby in particular.
Yeah.
Now we've got the world's largest sporting event happening, and you're being called to Tokyo. What does that mean personally to you to be selected and to be going to represent your country?
Yeah, it means honestly everything. I'm so grateful to have this opportunity, and even just to have been playing rugby playing sevens for 5 years, just to see how much growth you can do within that short amount of time is such an amazing thing. And I think for me, putting in that work and effort to be where I'm at right now and being selected for this Olympic team means everything. Like it's such a surreal feeling. And I remember when I was a younger girl, I was like, oh my gosh, like I want to be in the Olympics. I want to do this. I want to do that. But to have this actually happen is such an amazing feeling.
I imagine you originally probably thought you were going to go as a volleyball player, though.
Yes, I definitely did not grow. I'm quite short. So to have rugby almost take that track instead of going for volleyball I'm very lucky. And I did try and go as far as I could with volleyball, but I just wasn't tall enough.
So I watched the bio on CBC in Our Blood the other day. It was amazing. I thought it was really well done. It got me super excited, and I imagine more so for the players that are going. Team goals, obviously, it's to win gold. And as fans of rugby, Canadian fans of rugby, we're happy that you're there. We'd love to see gold, but we're happy that you're there representing our country, doing the best you can. Mm-hmm. What are your personal goals that's going to help the team achieve gold?
I think for me, just not to get too caught up in the moment, stay grounded, but soak every moment in. I know when I start to kind of get in my head or I get too excited, then I try and overdo things. And for me, that's definitely a work on and a goal that I've always had. But I think just to give it my all as soon as we get there and continue to focus on my trainings, but still obviously take that moment in. I'm at the Olympics. Like, I obviously want to remember what I'm doing there. And I think just to be the best I can is just to stay focused on my goal and what I need to do for this team so we can win the gold.
Makes sense. Focus on the moment, play with no
Yeah.
regrets, but also kind of experience what it's like being an athlete at the Olympics.
Yeah,
That should be
definitely.
good. I like that. This one I like to ask a few times, and I've asked a few of my past guests, but over the last few years, Rugby Canada's women's program, the 15s and 7s have been amazing. I think right now they're both ranked third in the world. What do you think is a secret to the sustained success, or why do you think the women's team have been playing so well that they can rank top 3 in 15s and 7s?
Well, I can't disclose too many secrets, but I definitely think just our drive to achieve something greater than just rugby. I think looking at the bigger picture and involving our community, involving, family and friends, and making that an interest of rugby 7s, rugby 15s. We want to get that on the board. And I think just our growing love for the game is definitely impacting everybody around us. And I think having that support is what drives us to achieve all of our goals and to really focus on why we're playing rugby. I think that's a big one for us.
I think that's really good. And you mentioned 2016, watching that, when you were, I guess, 16 years old, and 5 years later, you're representing Canada at the Olympics. I imagine there's a ton of girls that are going to be watching the Olympics this year thinking, that can be me. And
definitely.
That's pretty cool. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this, girls in sports. I stumbled across this, your face was all over their website. It sounds like a really cool program. Can you highlight what that is and what your role is and what people can do to offer support?
Yeah. So Girls in Sport is, like you said, it's an amazing program where high performance athletes like myself can provide girls with strategies to, break barriers, increase their confidence in sports. And for us, for me, when growing up, I didn't have, a big mentor to help me with my confidence. Like, I had my brother and my family, but to have someone in the sport that I was playing or in a high performance sport in general, just to have, a little bit more clarity about, what you do on a daily basis, or just like any sort of questions about high performance is. So yeah, I'm in this role as a mentor to kind of put my knowledge out there about what I know about high performance sports, and to help younger female athletes come through sport and have that courage to, I'm going to take on rugby today, or I want to try out baseball, or just to instill confidence in girls and to have them thrive in the sports that they want to achieve.
That's really cool. With COVID, I imagine it's slowed down a little bit, but do you do like guest speaking where you speak to a whole bunch of girls, or is it like a one-on-one mentorship program?
Yeah, we do guest speaking through the website. You can book a appointment or book like a Zoom call with your team or one-on-one, and we can sit down, have a Zoom chat about any questions they have, if they want to hear my backstory, and yeah, everything is pretty much through their website, Girls in Sport Alberta. And yeah, you can sign up to be a member, and you can talk to, I think there's over 15 mentors that are all in different sports, and you can sign up to choose any sort of communication platform to speak with us mentors.
That's good. I like that. Really cool program. So check it out if you're listening. It's really important, I guess, to make sure girls in sports, something like this is doing wonders for younger girls trying to see different pathways to different high performance athletics. I like that.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So Keyara, we're at our quick fire section. We talked about this beforehand. So there's about 20 questions, half rugby based, half personality based. You feel like you want to give it a go?
Sure. Let's do this.
All right. So we're going to start with, we'll start with rugby. 7s or 15s?
7.
All right. All right. You have to say that anyway, right?
I have to say that.
All right. Who's the best team you've ever faced?
Ooh, New Zealand.
New Zealand? Black Fern. They're always tough.
Yeah.
Who's the best player you ever faced?
I want to say one of my own, but
You can. Seriously, a lot of guests actually say one of their teammates.
I would definitely say Brittany Ben.
Brittany? Okay.
Yeah.
Who's the toughest player you ever faced? And when I say toughest, I mean it's that girl running down the pitch with ball in hand and she's running at you 1v1 and you just pray that she trips or falls or something.
Oh, there's a lot of those. I would definitely say Alice Kelter.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good one
Yeah.
too. What's the best match you were ever a part of?
Our semi-final in Australia of 2020.
Last year.
Yeah,
you scored a
last
beautiful
year.
try in that game from about half. We broke a couple of tackles and that was
Yeah,
nice.
I did. I think that game was one of the best games we've ever played as a full squad. So that was definitely my favorite.
Hopefully you can recreate that in a few weeks.
Yes, I hope so.
What's your favorite rugby tradition?
I would say for this team, going in the tunnel in our little huddle and saying our routine or a pregame before we run out onto the pitch, and just to be huddled with one another and giving everyone a hug right before we go on the field.
What's your rugby nickname?
When I was younger, it used to be Lightning.
Okay. It's not anymore?
It's not anymore. No, I grew out of that one. Now it's just Keyara.
You slowed down a little bit or?
I mean, maybe.
All right. Who's the player that you love to smash?
Everyone.
Everyone.
Anyone who runs in front of me.
I like that. That's good too. Any rugby superstitions?
I need to have a whole handful of candy before I play. Every game. If I don't do it, I don't play well. Might not want to tell my nutritionist that, but
no. What when you say a handful of candy, like you had both hands out, like a big bowl of candy?
Well, okay, just one handful.
So what kind of candy? Like gummies, like Tic Tacs?
Yeah, sour gummies. Yeah, I've just a mixture of sour gummies.
That's a good one. I like that. I haven't heard that one before. That's nice. Right. After rugby's done at the Olympics, you've got your gold medal, you're polishing it. They decide to have an axe throwing tournament at the Olympics for a gold medal, world domination. Which 3 teammates are you taking with you for an axe throwing championship? This is an important question.
This is an important question. Britt Ben.
Okay.
Olivia Axe.
Yeah. 2 good ones.
And Charity Williams.
That'd be a pretty good squad, I think. I think that'd be your second gold medal of the Olympics.
I think so as well.
All right, Keyara, what is the most used app on your phone? Don't say WhatsApp. It can't be WhatsApp.
No. A close second. Instagram.
Instagram? Okay.
Yeah.
What is your go-to food?
Go-to food.
Gummies?
Honestly, any candy.
All right. Hopefully your nutritionist isn't listening to this.
I know. I hope she's really not listening.
All right. Chips or cookies?
Cookies.
All right. What kind?
Oatmeal raisin.
Oatmeal raisin. Oh, it's sort of healthy. That's not bad.
So healthy, yeah.
French fries or onion rings?
French fries.
French fries or poutine?
French fries.
Okay. What's your favorite beer?
Bud Light Apple.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's good.
Is it good? All right. Where's the best place for a post-match beer?
I don't know. My home.
Okay.
Coming home.
Once you're relaxed. And well, okay.
Yeah.
What is a guilty pleasure?
Ice cream.
Ice cream?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say sour candy again.
I thought I was going to maybe say that as well.
What's your favorite kind of ice cream?
Depends on the day, but probably a mango ice cream.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Which superhero would you be and why?
I think I would be, superhero. That's a hard question.
Yep. These ones are tricky.
I feel like I would be Spider-Man.
Okay.
Or I guess Spider-Woman, because I would always want to like, if I was in any situation, just go and just like get out of there and like soar across the sky, you know? I think that'd be pretty cool.
It was Spider-Woman's supposed to help people, not run away.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Well, if I okay, here's the scenario.
Okay.
If I was eating candy and I knew I needed to stop, I would just get out of there.
Okay.
That's what I would do.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
What's your favorite song or your favorite like musician? Like, what are you going to listen to? Do you listen to music to get warmed up before a game, or?
I do. Honestly, anything R&B. I don't really have a favorite, but I would definitely say R&B or a little Luke Combs, a little country.
Good mix.
Yeah.
Luke Combs played rugby in university.
He did. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've been messaging him on Twitter to see if he'll jump on a pod with me, but he won't answer. He's a little too big. All right. What series are you binge watching right now?
I'm binge watching Grey's Anatomy again.
Again. My wife and I started that when COVID started, and we're all caught up now.
Oh, really?
It was sad and slow at times.
It is sad.
Spoiler alert, when Derek died, I kind of lost interest. He was my favorite.
Yeah. Me as well.
All right, 3 quick fire questions. Oh, sorry, 4 quick fire questions left. What's your favorite movie?
Safe Haven.
I have not seen that.
It's a sappy one.
Is it?
It's a flick.
It make me cry?
Yeah, kind of like a Dear John.
Didn't see that either.
Okay. I'm pretty sure it's written by Nicholas Sparks.
Yeah, I don't know who he is.
Okay. Well, it's
I'll take your word. It's good and sappy. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Safe Haven. All right. Who would play you in the Netflix movie of your life? Spider-Man?
Yeah. I don't know. I think I would want to play it myself.
Well done. Now, when I asked that, I've had like 75 pods, and I think I've asked that question 60 times.
Yeah.
And you're only the second person that said they want to play themselves. I like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Right. I think I would want to do that.
All right. So you're playing the movie of your life. Who's playing the leading opposite?
Oh.
This is a harder question to answer, maybe.
This is a very hard question to answer. Probably Derek from Grey's Anatomy.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
And last question, what would the movie be called?
That's a tough one. I don't know. I think I need to sit on that one.
Okay. Maybe we'll circle back.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So just a handful of questions left here, and then we'll let you go about your day and prepping and everything. But
sounds good.
Who had the biggest impact on you as a player?
My brother has definitely had the biggest impact on me. He's the one who really got me into rugby and helped me to be the athlete that I am today, like on and off the pitch. So I definitely look up to him, and he definitely has the biggest impact.
So what's your brother's name? You've mentioned my brother a few times, but you haven't said his name.
I have. My brother's name is Evan.
Evan. Okay.
Yes.
So how old's Evan?
He's 26.
26.
27.
27.
27.
Is he still playing rugby?
No, he actually plays hockey.
Okay.
He plays down in the States.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah.
Who he play? Like, does he play like at college, or where does he play in the States?
He plays in the ECHL.
Oh, good for him. What team?
Yeah. Right now he's with Wheeling, the Wheeling Nailers.
Yeah.
But I think he's going back with the Idaho Steelheads.
Good for him. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on what makes a great team player?
A great team player is someone who's reliable, someone who has a team first mentality, someone who shows up day in and day out and ready to give it their all at training and to leave everything on the pitch and really leave no stone unturned. Just always ready to make a big impact. Yeah, just having your teammates back.
It's I imagine that's pretty much your entire roster that's going to Tokyo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So Keyara, as a rugby player, let's fast forward. Let's go to 2041. You'll be 41 then.
Yeah.
What do you want to be remembered for? So you may just picture yourself sitting around a table with your teammates from these Olympics. What do you want them to be saying about you? What do you want them to remember about you as Keyara the player, as Keyara the person?
I think I want to be remembered as a player who inspired the next gen to get into sports. And I think I want to be remembered as a person who uplifts everyone around them and making everybody want to be a better them and to put their best foot forward. I think that's who I want to be remembered as.
Very positive. That's nice. I think that you're in that role already with your girls in sports, and just the brief conversation we've had, you're a very upbeat person. So I think that's probably along the right train of thought for sure.
Thank you.
And lastly, any great rugby stories you can share? This fun rugby stories. Throw a teammate under the bus, if you will. It's up to you.
I wouldn't do that. Yes, no, I'm just kidding. Great rugby memory. I think this isn't from current, but back in high school, I just remember going to provincials, and I believe we came second. But just going up with the big pitchers of the Gatorade, like a water cooler, and dumping it on my coach. I think that's a very special moment that'll always stick with me.
What did your coach do?
Well, she did run away and then ended up getting a water and pouring it on me. So
nice. That's good. The high school team I coached, we won AAA a few years ago, and my players were sneaking up behind me to do that, and my co-coach, and he saw them, and he just casually shuffled about 4 feet to the left, so they just got me and not him. So in all the team photos, I'm like drenched and he's bone dry.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that's so funny.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Any thoughts on what that Netflix movie of life would be called? You thought I forgot, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I was wishing you forgot. No, I don't know. That's a hard question.
It is. It makes some people get mad at, well, not mad at me, but some people say you got to rename this. It can't be quick fire, but you actually went through pretty quick until that last one. So that was pretty good.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Well, listen, Keyara, it's been a pleasure getting to know you and have a little conversation with you, and just want to wish you the best of luck in Tokyo. And you just know that Canada, all rugby fans are going to be proud no matter the outcome. We're hoping for gold, but we're going to be proud of what all you girls do while you're over there representing Canada on the world's biggest stage.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And thank you for having me.
Cheers. All right. Thanks so much, Keyara. That was a lot of fun. All the best as you get ready for Tokyo. You'll be leaving very soon. We wish nothing but you and your team all the best of luck and success in Tokyo. We really want you to bring back a medal, but we also are just very proud of the fact that you're all over there representing our country. Coming soon, we've got a whole lot on tap here. Got that Rugby World Cup panel, talking to those lads on Monday. Barbara Mervin, her and I are chatting next week. Kanoa Lloyd and I are going to be chatting soon. Connor Keys and I are going to be chatting soon. Josh Larson and I are going to be chatting soon. Andrew Monroe and I are going to be chatting soon. Harry Jones and the men's sevens. We're going to chat after the Olympics. I'm going to do kind of a recap. And then Andrew Cohen and I are going to be chatting next week as well. So there's lots of tap. And again, Alessia Lara and I are still trying to nail down a date. We'll probably wait till after the Olympics as well. So as always, need to say thanks to everybody for listening. And more importantly, thank you for spreading these good rugby words about our Canadian rugby players and coaches and admin and all that. It's great that everybody gets a chance to hear their stories. As always, I need to thank my son Rylan, or my 12-year-old, for creating the intro and outro music on his laptop. Until next time, this is Jamie. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay sane, and you know what's coming. Keep on rocking.